Hello and welcome to the channel. So today I'm giving an update on one of my most recent videos. So the video was I put Gyeon's Wet Coat up against Repco's ceramic spray just to see what would hold, what would give a bit more protection, what would hold the longest. It was like a cheap versus expensive kind of video because the Repco is almost a third of the price of the Gyeon Wet Coat. So just thought I'd give an update because I haven't taken the coatings off yet of the panel, and I've just left it outside, left it in the weather for the last couple of months just to see how it all holds up. Now, this is 6 weeks later, so I've had the part outside for 6 weeks, and it's been in the wind, the rain, the sun, everything. It was mostly autumn throughout this test. Towards the end of the test, we get into winter, so it really tests the panel. So what I'm doing here is I'm showing what I've done in every update. I'm not going to show this every update, but I am showing that I basically wash the panel every time I do an update, just to get all the dust and grime and dirt off it that may have come with the wind. So on the right hand side is the Gyeon Wet Coat. So let's see how this holds up after 6 weeks. So just having a look here, yeah, still sheeting off really well, as you can see. Yeah, sheeting off very well. So the protection's still really good. Let's compare that to the bottom. The bottom doesn't have any protection on it, so that's just the part as is. And you can see, yeah, you can see how quickly that sheets off on the top right there. So still holding up really well. I think I did say in my last in the last video that Wet Coat is one of my favorite products. So yeah, it's I'm happy to see it doing well. Now over to the Repco ceramic spray. Now my last video, they did say that this product was discontinued, I believe. It's still available at my local Repco, but it does on their website look like it is going to get discontinued, which I'm really disappointed about, because this is the first time I got to use it, and I'm actually really impressed with it. And considering the price point, I'm very happy with it. So as you can see, 6 weeks later, it's still holding up really well. Like, it still looks like I've put it on last week. So no real signs of wear and tear there. And again, obviously, as we compare it to the stock part without any coatings, yeah, it sheets off much quicker. So yeah, interesting to hear about the Repco. As I said, very disappointed. I was would have liked to have known about this earlier and I could stock up on it, but no, it doesn't look like it's going to be available, which is not great. And you know, I was going to feature it heavily, especially with the cheap versus expensive stuff that I do. So just comparing the two, they're both still very strong. I would say that the Gyeon probably has a little bit of a disadvantage being on the top right hand side there, because of just the nature of the panel. So the panel obviously grooves and changes directions and everything like that, whereas that where the Repco is, it's all nice and smooth. So now hitting it, I guess, with a bit more pressure, a bit more direct water, and you can see, I think the Repco is actually doing better than the Gyeon. You can see on impact, as soon as it hits, it's just spreading. Versus when you hit it without protection, it just kind of sits on the panel. Yeah, very impressed with the Repco. Let's see the Gyeon again. Gyeon's doing well, Repco's doing well. So 6 weeks in, no real signs of wear and tear just yet. In terms of, if this was on my car, I would just keep it. I wouldn't be updating it as of yet. So now let's check the beading. So I'm not going to do this for, look, I've done a couple weeks update, and I'm just checking the sheeting on the couple weeks update. This is a bit more in depth after 6 weeks, but so the whole video is not going to be like this. But you can see the beading there versus the no beading there. Yeah, tight beads both sides. As I said, the Repco probably looks better, but that's just because of the nature of the panel. I don't believe that it beads a lot better than the Gyeon. I just believe that it's just got just in the middle of the panel where it's all straight and smooth and everything, versus the Gyeon, has to deal with the grooves and the and the natural way of the hood, or the bonnet for my Australian viewers. So just having a look at this again, the side by side is it's telling, which is good. I mean, look, as I said, if you are going to be updating, so at least you know, obviously with the 6-week update, you know you're going to get minimum 6 weeks. It's still going to be strong on there for 6 weeks. If you are looking at updating your protection every 6 weeks, I would take the Repco, just so you can save a third of your money. So this is 8 weeks later. So this is 2 weeks after. 2 weeks after that update that I've given. Again, just going to fly through these updates now. The 6-week one was a little bit more in depth, but we're just going to fly through these ones. So you can see the Wet Coat still holding strong, and same with the Repco. Look how quickly it just sheets off. All right, so eight weeks now, so 2 months of protection, and it's still going to give it to you. So the only difference between, so hitting it with a bit more pressure now, so we can see how it all reacts. The only difference, I guess, between the panel which is sitting in the weather versus a car that's, I guess, parked outside, is that it doesn't obviously drive. So you don't get that extra exposure to the wind and rain if you are driving in the rain. However, it is exposed to all the elements other than that. So expect that if I am just trying it on a car part, that you probably take a couple of weeks off just because there's no driving element to it. But in saying that, as I said, it is exposed to all the elements outside. So now we have the 10-week update, and as you can see, the Wet Coat, not shedding off as quick as it was 2 weeks ago. Okay, so there's still heaps of protection there, but definitely not as strong as it was 2 weeks ago. Let's have a look at the Repco now. So the Repco, still tough to flood, but it's still shedding off quite well. I'd almost say the Repco is better. Very close though, very close after 10 weeks. Compare that to the Control. Still a lot stronger than the Control. Both of them are a lot stronger than the Control, but I'm edging this towards the Repco at the moment. That's very good. Interesting. As I said, I've given my love to Gyeon Wet Coat on this channel quite a bit. So interested to see that is not holding up as well. So now we go 2 weeks later, so the 12-week mark. All right, so that little bit there, okay, so that's still sheeting well. So it hasn't changed too much between the 10 and the 12 week, which is good. So the Wet Coat's holding on. So let's have a look at the Repco. Again, sheeting off really, really well. Okay. So again, just edging it to the Repco. So if we're looking at cheap versus expensive, it's starting to look like the cheap. The cheap is looking like the better protection, which, the old adage goes, you get for what you pay for. But I think here, it looks like the Repco is just going to edge out the Gyeon. Okay, it's still very close. I mean, to be honest with you, you can't go wrong with either of these products. This is just kind of a fun test between the two to see which one would hold on longer. So 14 weeks later, so this is the last one that I'm going to have a look at. So we're going to have a look at the wet coat first, of course. And that panel is very easy to flood. So that's starting to wear now. It's still got some protection, but it definitely is starting to wear. It's not sheeting off as quick as it was, but still, there's still something there. So let's have a look at the Repco one. That's still strong. That's still really, really strong. Well, I mean, strong for a 14-week protection. Wow, okay. Interesting. Let's compare the two. You can already see, as soon as the water hits the panel, the Repco just starts sheeting off straight away. So if we have a compare to the control, again, wet coat still doing its thing, but Repco doing its thing better. Well, would have never thought that. And as I said, I've been using wet coat for a long time, and it is one of my favourite products that I've got on the shelf at the moment. So very surprised by the results. So just hitting it with a bit of pressure now. Obviously a lot harder to flood now with the pressure. But it is sheeting, just not as quick, obviously. Let's have a look at the Repco. Jeez, that's really strong. Wow, okay. So 14 weeks, and it's still going pretty strong. I would definitely update the wet coat. I don't know if I'd update the Repco. I would probably update it, but you could still go without it, is more or less the end of that story. So after 12 weeks, it's I think the Repco is gonna take this one. So thanks for watching. If you could please like, comment and subscribe, it really helps the channel. I can bring more of these tests to you if you do like and subscribe. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.